Hey, this is Mike. I am in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I'm visiting East Coast Honda. And I am super excited to show off this vehicle. It is a 2016 top-of-the-line trim level Honda Civic. It's the touring trim level, and man, does it have tons and tons of stuff to show off. It has the Honda Sensing package. It has awesome leather seats. I mean, the LED lights, all kinds of cool stuff. So let's go ahead and check it out. So, yes, you can see really sporty 17-inch alloy wheels with the gloss black in the background, and then you see the alloy popping through there. It has a four-wheel disc brakes with the ventilated disc brakes here in the front. There's your profile view. Really awesome design. The 16 model is just breathtaking to me. I really love this car. So let's go ahead and check out the front. LED headlights. They're all in a reflector housing. So you have a series of low beams and high beams running together there. You also have a halogen powered fog light here at the bottom. And this little panel is for your sensing system, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, all kinds of cool stuff there, which we'll get into in a little bit more detail in the car. So check out the front here. You have that chrome accent all the way across from one side of the vehicle to the other, and then you have the prominent Honda emblem right here in the center. Really awesome. Here is the key. It is a proximity key, has the lock and unlock buttons here, the trunk button, and a remote start button. You also have a panic button here at the bottom, and you see it has the emblem there on the back, and it does have a physical key on the inside in case you need to use it using this little switch, and this part pulls out, and it's a physical key. So let's go ahead and unlock the doors, make sure it's unlocked, and check it out. Now, I don't even have to unlock the doors with the key. I can actually just put the key in my pocket right now, because since it's a proximity system, all I have to do is put my hand behind the handle and it unlocks the vehicle. I can push this button to lock it. So right now it's locked. To unlock it, I'm going to show you that it's locked by pulling this handle. But the front doors have a sensor on them, so you can put your hand behind the handle and it unlocks the door. And like I said, relock it there. It's designed to keep your key in your pocket the whole time, so you don't actually have to take it out. So here's the inside of the passenger door, and it looks awesome. You can see it has this white French design contrast stitching here. All soft to the touch surfaces here, right in here, all here. You have a little storage pocket at the bottom. And you have kind of a silver handle there. You have some metallic accents up here, looking amazing, and contoured perfectly with your body as you're sitting in place. And power seats here on the passenger side. Look at these seats. The perforations all here in the center. You have the stitching, a little bit of bolstering, super comfortable, high quality feeling leather seats that absolutely look amazing and sporty. Now this kind of simulates a carbon fiber design here in the center, and then you have the perforations here. You have the double stitching here on the side, which gives you some durability. Check out this dashboard with the metallic accent here. It's like a brushed aluminum or something there. You have a pretty good sized glove compartment here. It's all smooth plastic on the inside, so it's easy to clean. And it's pretty cool because it has this little place here for storage for both the driver and the passenger to use. Plus you have this power supply here on the passenger side to plug in some stuff, which we'll get into more of that stuff here in a minute. Let's take a look here in the back. Here's the inside of the back door. Very similar styling as the front, with the stitching and the metallic accents there. There's your threshold. You have this plastic piece here covering up that section so stuff doesn't get fell, dropped in there or whatever. Here's the floorboard. Plenty of room in here. It has a good distance down away from the seat, so you have some place to put your feet. And check it out, the perforations from the front seat actually wrap around to the back, which looks pretty awesome. You do have a pretty significant hump here in the center, so the center passenger is going to have to deal with that. Heated seats here in the back as well. Did I mention the front seats are heated? They are. So here's the back seats. You notice the back seats do not have any perforations, but they are a leather seat with a good bolsters here, a little bit of bolstering here on the sides. Overall, it's kind of like a bench seat with a little bit of bolstering to kind of give you that bucket seat feel. Center armrest with some cup holders. That moves out of the way in case you need to have a center passenger. You have handles and lights here. Pretty decent size headrests. It does have the latch system for car seats back here as well. Let's take a look at the back of the vehicle. Really awesome looking to me. Has that little tiny deck lid spoiler across the back. Tail lights are really epic. They really stand out. You can really notice them from a distance here in the parking lot. Love the contours. Also, I want to point out it has this chrome accent all the way across the top of the windows and as the chrome handles. That's something you don't see in other trim levels. Dual exhaust back here. You have two mufflers as well, here and here. Now they do join in the center, so it's not like a true dual exhaust, I guess, but for a four-cylinder, I guess that's the best you can do possibly. So it has the backup camera lens right in here, this area. So let's go ahead and check out the trunk. There's a little button right under here. I can use that button to open up the trunk, or I can use the key. So it's pretty easy there. So here's the trunk area, and for the size of this vehicle, it is massive. It goes all the way to the sides there, and here. You also have those seats that fold down in a 60-40 split fashion. In case you need some more cargo space, you start folding down seats, and you can have a combination of cargo and passenger space by folding down one or the other or both. Now this one has the cargo mat here, which is highly recommended. It maintains order and keeps all the dirt in there, and you can easily pull it out and clean it and put it back in. You also have a spare tire under here with the spare tire and tools. You can also utilize some of this space around the tire for some storage space if you wanted to. To lower the seats, you just use this little latch like so, and then all you have to do is grab the seat and fold it down. It's that simple. The fuel door is on the driver's side, which is extremely convenient, and just open it up like so. And it's a capless design, so you just put the gas in without having to worry about a cap. Let's take a quick peek at the window sticker. So you can use the pause button to get all the details you want. Look at that, 42 miles per gallon on the highway. Isn't that amazing? 42 miles per gallon. So to start the car, as long as you have the key inside, you push and hold the brake, and the little start button will kind of pulsate, and you just push the button. And it starts right up, and it turns red while it started. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look under the hood. So to open up the hood, there's a latch a little bit to the left of center. Right in here, there's a center with the Honda emblem. And you just move it to the right, and you lift it up. And there you go. It does require a prop to hold up the hood, but there's two locations to hold the prop. You have the higher and lower location. the lower location will allow you to have the hood much higher than the other place. So that's really awesome. So here you have it, and it's not covered up with a plastic cover. It is a 1.5 liter dual overhead cam, direct injection, turbocharged inline 4 engine. Mated to a CVT transmission, a continuously variable transmission. So it's always going to be in the perfect power band position for the engine to get you the best fuel economy and performance. So the turbo is located here in the front, I believe. I also want to mention, you see these, this frame, and it kind of bends down. You see how that comes out and it kind of bends down? And that is really helps out with it's part of the ACE body structure, to where the vehicle is designed to channel energy in other directions and have different crumple zones in order to protect you inside the vehicle. So it can absorb a lot of energy. There's a lot of the way the engine, the vehicle is designed, the frame is designed, and the way the engine is positioned, as well as the strength of the steel, the variable strength of the steel, allows the vehicle to absorb energy and channel energy away from the occupants. That really helps out with the safety rating. Let's take a look here on the driver's side. Similar styling, just about the same styling as the other side. Has a few more buttons though. Power windows for all 4 windows, and the front are automatic up and down. So you just push it one time and it'll go up and down like so. Then you have your door lock controls, your side mirror controls, push the button to open up your trunk, so that's a third way of opening it up. And then you have some speakers here on the door, here and here. That's part of the 10 speaker premium sound system, which sounds amazing. Power seat here on the driver's side, and I still can't get over how awesome these seats look and feel. They're very comfortable and look amazing. So down here in the floorboard is, just want to mention this very comfortable area with the place to put your left foot and just the overall room. You have room to have your, with the automatic, of course, you have a little bit extra room because you don't have a clutch pedal. But just overall, it's just very comfortable. The angle of the foot pedal here on the left is really good. So just want to mention that. Plenty of leg room too. Now I'm about 6 feet tall, so if you're, depending on how tall you are and how comfortable you'll be in here, and of course that's a subjective thing, you have to try it out yourself. So right up here we have a few buttons. This is your road departure mitigation button. This will actually keep you from swerving off the road. So it actually steer you a little bit back into your lane if you are getting out. So you can turn that on and off here, and then you have your vehicle stability assistance right here. You can push that on and off by pushing that button. You do have to hold it for a second to do that. And then this button is your collision mitigation braking system. So this, you can turn that, it's always on unless you turn it off. So this will brake the vehicle. If it senses that there's actually going to be a collision, it's going to try to slow you down as much as possible to mitigate the crash. It's not going to eliminate it, it's going to mitigate it, which is still good. Okay, here we are on the inside. 2016 Honda Civic touring model. Lots of awesome features. So let's go ahead and get started here on the steering wheel. It's a leather wrap steering wheel with some white contrast stitching here in the center. See if we can take a look at that. Very comfortable leather. You have the metallic accents there looking all amazing. Then you have these little grips here, which is pretty cool. So we have quite a few buttons here on the steering wheel. Let's go ahead and start here on the right side. Now it is a It's kind of like glass looking buttons, shiny clear buttons here, looking pretty awesome. So this is your cruise control. You can set it, push main. This is how you turn it on. You push main, and this will give you a little indicator up here. You see the ACC adaptive cruise control, and the lane keeping assist feature will also activate. So we push main, and then we can, and here's lane keeping assist, we can turn on and off, and you'll see a little indicator there. Okay, so you can set it, cancel, resume, go faster and slower, but this button right here changes your distance. So adaptive cruise control, if you're not familiar, basically matches your distance in front of the car in front of you. So if you're going 70 miles an hour and somebody in front of you is going 68, it will, unless you're going to pass them, if you're behind them, it's going to slow your speed down to match their speed, and it'll keep a set distance. By pushing this button, you can actually change the distance. So let me zoom in here so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to push that button. I'm going to keep cycling through so you can see you can have a far distance and then a series of closer distances. And you can kind of judge it depending on how you drive. So I like a far distance, but you can't always have that, because sometimes when there's heavy traffic, if you leave too much space between you and the car in front of you, then another car is going to get in there and then you'll have no distance. So you kind of have to judge it for yourself. So it's like a really advanced cruise control. It has like a radar system and sensors all in front of the vehicle. That's part of the Honda sensing package. So here on the left side, you have your volume for your radio, and you just basically just move your finger there, and you can change the volume just by rubbing it. Basically, you don't actually have to push a button. And if you push the up and down buttons, it'll change through your mode of your audio source. So you can go to there's tons of different audio sources. So let's go here to there, to the Sirius XM. Okay, and then left and right will change through your presets for your radio. Once you have a bunch of presets set, you can cycle through those as well for like radio stations and stuff like that. Like your favorites is another way of saying it. And then down here is for your phone. So you have your, you can answer calls here. You can hang up on calls. And this is all after you pair your Bluetooth phone with the system. And you also have a voice recognition system. This helps you make calls. Say, you can say the person's name in your phone book, but you can also, there's lots of different commands. I'm going to go ahead and push it.
Voice prompt can be interrupted at any time, but...
What time is it?
It is 2:59 p.m.
Okay, so to give you an idea of what it sounds like, lots of different information there, and that's basically an entire subject in itself. Then you have this other button here, and this will cycle through information here on the screen, which we'll get to in just a second. Your headlight controls are here on the left, and you have your off, parking lights, automatic, and there's your headlights there. And then your fog lights are controlled here. Your wipers are controlled right here on the right side. So here is your gauges. So it has like a all digital screen gauge here in the center, and then you have more of a real gauge, but it has a digital marker here in the center on the left for your temperature, and then your fuel gauge there on the right. So right here in the center, you have your RPMs around, that's that big dial on the outside, and then you have your digital speedometer there in the center. But right now it's showing us our range, how many miles we can drive before we have to get gas. Just want to mention, it says average fuel economy, 2.9 miles per gallon. Some people get confused and they think that that's what this vehicle gets. Sitting in the parking lot not going anywhere, that might be what it gets, but if you're actually driving the vehicle on the road, then of course it's going to change. So, I'm surprised I have to say that, but, it seems to be an issue sometimes. Okay, so let's go ahead and push this button right here, and I'm going to kind of cycle through to show you that there's some more information. So when I push that button, it gives me the ability to cycle through these different icons. So that was the first one we saw, the fuel economy. This is for your boost on your turbo, which is pretty awesome. You can actually see that. It doesn't really do anything when I when I'm just idling, and just a little tiny bit of a boost, but not much. And so let's go back here, go over to, this is your like digital compass and navigation, stuff like that. And here's when you want to change the oil, that kind of stuff. This is what's going on with your radio. This is what's going on with your phone. And this is basically, you can change the units to kilometers per hour versus miles per hour. And then it cycles back to your range and your fuel economy. Now the little fuel economy bar will actually show up as you drive. Right now I'm not going anywhere, so a little bar will show up. You also have these white lights up here, and here, will change colors while you drive to give you and kind of trains you to drive in a more economical fashion. So that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the touchscreen. And there's tons of features here. I mean, tons. You have the ability, which I don't have my phone, I have it connected through Bluetooth, but I don't have it set up with the smartphone connection. You can actually plug it in to the USB and install Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, that kind of stuff, so you can really access a tremendous amount of features through those. It's really cool. So right now we're in the home screen. So the home screen looks like this, and you have the ability to kind of have your icons here to quickly go to different places. So let's go ahead and see what the navigation looks like. Let's go ahead and just view the map, see what it looks like there. And we can go to, like, you can save your home address. You can go to a Honda dealership, which is pretty cool. East Coast Honda, that's where we're at. And you have you can put in a specific address, you can go to gas stations, all that good stuff. Let's go back home. Alright, let's go to phone, see what that shows you. This is showing my, I don't have any favorites set up on my Samsung phone. I can go into my phone book, I can go into my recent calls, I can call people directly out of my phone book using the voice recognition. All that good stuff. It's really handy feature, and a good safety feature, because you're keeping your hands on the road. I mean, hands on the wheel and eyes on the road, and you're staying productive, which is awesome. And go into audio, see what that looks like. This is your radio, and you can change the source to AM, FM, satellite radio, USB, iPod, Bluetooth, Pandora, right off your smartphone, or use certain audio apps, which is once you install them, which is pretty awesome. Alright, let's go back home, and let's go to information. This is kind of like a you can have like a trip computer. You can also have a wallpaper, which is pretty awesome. So right now it just has some stars, and it has your clock and your date and all that stuff. Sometimes that's the most important thing you got to focus on during the day, so you can have that up. And of course, Honda Link is a whole slew of features here. And I'm not going to enable that. That's part of your linking to your cell phone. And you have features like playing music off of Aha and Pandora and stuff like that. Settings are pretty much endless. There's all kinds of different settings you can go into, change your clock, your cameras, audio settings, phone settings, vehicle settings, all that. And you can also swipe this screen. It's sort of like a cell phone, in that you can kind of swipe through and set it up the way you want. You also have your climate control on the touchscreen, most of it. You have your fan speed, like so, where you want the air to blow, and of course you can turn your air conditioning on and off there. And it kind of works together with these buttons down here, because you have your temperatures down here for your driver and passenger. It's a dual zone, and you can turn on your recirculate the air, front and rear defrosters. When you turn on the rear defrosters, it also turns on the heated side mirrors as well. And your heated seats is a 3-stage process there, to where you can have different levels of heat. So down here is a really neat little storage pocket. As you can see, these, let me get the shifter out of the way for a second. just back here is a little pass-through spot, and you can see these little places. Those are for your wire. So when you plug in your cell phone, you can have it here, and you run the wire through that so that it doesn't get all, you know, tangled up or whatever, and it doesn't fall down below when you unplug it. And it goes down here to this little storage area, and this is where your USB and auxiliary inputs are for your cell phone, for playing music through the sound system, or connecting it for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So that's a really cool feature. So here's your shifter, and let's go ahead and put it in reverse so we can see the backup camera. So the backup camera is a super wide angle lens in the first view, so you can see all around from the bumpers to the sky, all the way around. You also have another view which is more straight in the back, and then you have a kind of a top-down view, which is pretty cool. And I'm not sure exactly how it works as far as using the same lens doing all that, but it gives you that information. I mean, it really looks cool, and it gives you the information you need when you're backing up. Another cool thing about this, it has another camera as well, and the other camera is located on the bottom of this side mirror. So see if I can, it's kind of over there. I can't really show it to you right now, but I could show you the view. So there's two ways of turning on that side camera. Let me go ahead and put it in park. So the first one is just putting your turn signal on. And when you put on your turn signal, it gives you the view of your blind spot on your passenger side. So it's basically a camera over here aiming in that direction. So there's your view, and you can see, you know, so if there's a car in your blind spot, you will see it for sure. So when you turn your turn signal off, it goes away. But if you want to just look there without your turn signal on, you can push here. That way you can decide whether you want to make a turn or not. So you can push right on the end of this turn signal right there, and it shows you the camera. And the camera is really clear. You can see the color clarity is really awesome, and you know, because you definitely don't want to get things mixed up. You want to have a good contrast. You don't want to get mixed up with shadows and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and turn that off. I also want to mention this is a tilt and telescoping steering wheel column, so you can really get the right position that you want. And it has a little lever right here to lock it in place. It's kind of far back in there. You gotta reach in there. You gotta know right where it is. Okay, so down here is the brake hold button, and the brake hold button is really cool. So if you're stuck in traffic, everybody gets stuck in traffic every once in a while. You push that brake hold button and you enable it, so that way when you are stopping at a, you know, in traffic, you can push and hold the brake, and then when the little brake light comes on up here, then you can let go of the brake and it'll hold the brakes for you until you push the gas. And then once you push the gas, it'll let you go again. So that way you don't have to sit there and hold the brake the whole time while you're stuck in traffic. I think that's a really cool feature. This is electronic parking brake. You lift it up to engage it and push it down to disengage it. You have an eco button here for telling the vehicle that you want the highest fuel economy possible, and you don't really care too much about performance at that moment. Okay, so here's this whole storage console system going on. You have a armrest which moves forward and back, and it's a pretty good size, so you can share it with your passenger. And this armrest lifts up out of the way, so you got this really huge storage space, and you have these little things that slide. So this little tray can slide forward and back. You also have some cup holders that slide forward and back, and they have this like felt material on the edges, so that way they don't rattle around. Now they are removable. You can pull that and lift it up and take it out and clean it and put it back in. But you can see, hopefully you can see a little felt on the edges to allow it to smoothly move around without rattling and making a bunch of noise. Same thing with this tray. You can actually remove it as well. So you can see you have some more storage space in there. You also have a USB port, and that's the 1.0 amp charger. And I want to give a shout out to Honda Bro Jason. If you guys don't know who he is, immediately after you're done watching this video, go check out his channel, Honda Pro Jason. Check him out on Facebook, check him out on YouTube. He is the one that I found out that there is an Easter egg under here. So we have this Easter egg under this mat, this little rubber mat in the bottom of this. You have the Honda vehicles there, showing off the progression of Honda and old vehicles and new vehicles. You even have an airplane there, which is pretty cool. The power of dreams, it says. So that's in the very bottom of this storage compartment, and it's a rubber tray to be able to clean it out and everything. So I thought that was pretty neat. So thanks Honda Pro Jason for letting me know about that. You also have this little storage pocket very in the very back to quick access for things. I guess you can put your key and stuff in there too as well. So here's your rear view mirror, and it is an auto dim rear view mirror. You can see it's auto dimming right now because I have the shade over the light sensor here. So it gives a little bit of a darker, basically it keeps bright lights from blinding you at nighttime. So up here we have some tap lights, so we can turn on those individually. We can also have them turn on with the door, or we can turn that feature off if we want. And then we have little microphones here for the Bluetooth system. Now you have a place here and here, so I'm not sure if that is one is for they're all for the microphone. I'm not really sure, but it looks like they're both microphone places, so I'm not really sure what the difference is there. You also have lights and mirrors and the visors. Same thing on that side. So this button is for your sunroof, so let's go ahead and check that out. Now the sunroof has a manual shade that blocks out 100% of the light, so we can open that up if we want to. We can tilt the sunroof like so, and we can open it up. And if we don't want any light to come in, we could just close it up like so. So let's take a look at the visibility in the back. See if we can get you a good angle. Okay, so you can see out the back window really good because the window is pretty high up. It's higher basically than, for the most part, than the rear seat headrests. So you want real good headrests for safety, but it's really handy to have them not so in the way. So they did a pretty good job there. You also have those little tiny windows there on the sides on the A, B, C pillar area, C or D pillar area. And so you have a couple of little windows so you can see in your blind spot, in addition to the blind spot camera and all that good stuff. Still really liking these seats. So I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, you've got a blind spot over there and you got that covered. What about the driver's side? Well, it's got that covered too. So here on the side glass, this is more of a non-technology, I guess, way of doing it. You see right on the edge of that glass, the side mirror, the mirror, you see it's a little distorted looking? That is because it's bending the light around just enough to where you can see in your blind spot. So, some people have the little, stick-on round mirrors that go on the side glass. This is kind of doing the same thing, but just a little bit less tacky looking. So it kind of blends in. So that way you can kind of see at a glance. If, of course, you still want to look in your blind spot, but this kind of gives you a little bit of an extra helper to look in your blind spot for you. Okay, so thank you for watching. If there's anything that you would like to add or any kind of mistakes I made, you can correct anything that I skipped over. There's tons of features in this vehicle. There could be some that I didn't, go over properly. There's one thing up here for your brightness controls right on top of this the screen. I forgot to go over that. So there's lots of different little things that I could have skipped over, and maybe if you have experience with this vehicle, you can add some more information in the comment section. That would really be helpful. Also, of course, you can ask questions, and there's tons of experts out there that are in the comment section that are really helping out with answering questions, and I really appreciate that. So thank you for watching, and thank you to East Coast Honda in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for letting me show off an awesome vehicle. Now, they are a dealership here in Myrtle Beach. They can ship anywhere in the United States, by the way. So John Vincent is the man you want to talk to. I'll leave his contact information in the description so you can get up with him. He can ship anything to you, whatever you want. Also, if you happen to be in Myrtle Beach on vacation, stop by and say hello. They're a really cool dealership. They have really high ratings, and I really, really like them. So thank you for watching. See you next time.